Hi, I'm Larry Puckett, the DCC guy. Today, this is just going to be a Q&A session where I'm going to try to address some of the questions that came up in the comments. And specifically today, I want to talk about why I use green foam on the modules and on my layout, why I use foam at all. It doesn't matter if it's green or pink or blue. What some of the alternatives to it are, and why not just use plain plywood. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, before we get started, I want to ask you to take a second to subscribe. Click on the subscribe box, and when that comes up, click on the little bell right next to it and click all. That way you'll be notified every time that I upload a new video. Okay. So the first question goes back to why do I use the foam on the modules and on the Piedmont Southern? And I covered this in one of the videos where I talked about using this, and it comes down to a matter of deadening sound. Because anytime you put plywood down on a frame like this and put something that's going to make noise on it, like locomotives and cars running along on the top of rails, it creates what's called a soundboard. And that soundboard will amplify any other sounds that are transmitted to it directly quite a bit. So you can end up with a fairly loud a noise created by the locomotives and the cars rolling around on the track. Now, if that's not a concern to you, if it doesn't matter, then yeah, you can lay your track directly on the plywood. That's not a problem. A lot of people do that. Now, however, I prefer to deaden the sound, and foam does a good job of that. Now, it just happens here in the United States, we can get this green or blue or pink insulation foam board, and I can get this in anywhere from a 1/4 inch thickness, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 inch, and 2 inch thicknesses. So I can do whatever I want here as far as that goes. And one of the nice things about having this as a sub-road bed is, in addition to sound deadening, you can carve ditches in this alongside of your road bed, and that gives it a much more prototypical look. You can carve shallow streams. You can give a bit of relief to roads. You can then stack these up one on top of the other and carve them to create contoured landforms. So it's a great way to build scenery. Now, what about alternatives to that? Because apparently some places this is not readily available like it is here in the US. In the UK, this is referred to as XPS, which is extruded polystyrene. And that gives you a fairly high density. And you can purchase this, like I say, in the UK from places that sell building supplies and that kind of thing. It might be a special order item. It's typically sold in various thicknesses, just like in the US, usually in packages of 4 sheets, 2 foot by 4 foot, I believe, are those. So, it's the same thing as a 4 by 8 foot sheet. I get this here in a 4 by 8 foot sheet, and then I cut it down to whatever width and length that I need. And it gives me a lot of leftover pieces to build up landforms with, which is what I use this for. Now, what are some of the alternatives? Well, a friend of mine I contacted a friend of mine who lives in Wales, and also I contacted Charlie Bishop, who I believe is in Somerset. He has the Chadwick Model Railway channel on YouTube. And what my friend in Wales told me was that you can special order this, and you might even be able to find it at some dealers in the UK. I don't know. At any rate, it's available. But other alternatives that he has used in the past are a product called Sandila, which I think is used primarily for bulletin boards, that kind of thing. It's a compressed wood fiber product. Similar to Celotex. Matter of fact, the Sandila company, as I understand, is now owned by Celotex. So you can use that. It was apparently used quite a bit in the 60s and 70s for model railroad use. Not so much anymore. Another item that's out there is Silatex. And we have Silatex here in the U.S. as well. And it's a wood fiber product as well. And it's available in sheets like these. The trouble is it commonly comes with a foil face on it. It can be quite expensive. And Charlie Bishop has been using Silatex for some of the work on his Chadwick Model Railway. So you might take a look at some of his videos on how he used that. And other than that, the other thing available to you, Woodland Scenics makes foam sub-road bed sheets as well. And it's available in 4 packs. I think it's in the same like 2 by 4 foot dimensions and a 1/2 inch thickness. So, and I know I checked, Hatton's has that. So you might check that. Let's see, some of the other things. Now, one thing that I believe that was used on Everard Junction, which is another popular UK model railroad. I think he used Cork sheet over top of his plywood, okay? And I've used Cork sheet on top of my foam to cover yard areas and that kind of things that are going to be large, flat expanses. And I just add that to add that extra dimension of sound reduction. I'm really into this sound reduction thing because I also use metal wheels on all of my rolling stock, and metal wheels tend to be louder than plastic ones. Even though they're much more free rolling, there is one downside to them. They make a lot more noise. The other thing that I've talked about before is, you know, the Cork roadbed. And you can purchase Cork roadbed in the UK. If you check at goldenvalleyhobbies.com, they sell a product almost identical to this. I believe it's made by Bush. So you might want to check on that. So that's an alternative. You also may be able to find it on Hatton's or Rails of Sheffield, some of the others over there. I haven't had a chance to check their websites to see if they sell it. But at any rate, I do know it's available. And you can also sometimes find Cork in thicker sheets than the one I just showed you. This one here is 2.4 millimeters thick, so it's mainly used for facing bulletin boards, that kind of thing. But so those are some of the things that you can use as an alternative to using foam or whatever, you know. One other thing I do want to mention though, if you do lay your Cork roadbed or whatever directly on your plywood, or if you put it on foam or any other covering that you put over the plywood, be aware if you pin, and a lot of people do use pins and nails to attach their track to the roadbed. If that goes through and into the plywood, it will transmit the sound from the rails into the plywood, and you'll get the same amplification of noise that you would get as if you laid it right on the plywood itself. So it can be self-defeating if you try to pin or tack or nail your track down. And that's why, as you'll see, I use liquid nails for projects adhesive to attach my track to the Cork roadbed. And I'm also going to be doing a section of this layout with the track laid directly on the green foam. So I'll be gluing it down onto that as well. So we'll see how that works out. Well, that's a wrap for today. I hope I've answered some of the questions that were posed to me in the comments. So please be, feel free to hit me with questions in those comments. I do try to answer them, and be aware though that other people might have asked the same question that you're asking. So please take a few minutes to at least scan through the comments under each topic before you ask me a question. Also, a lot of people don't seem to be aware that there's 139 videos here on my channel already. And if you're just looking at your homepage and what YouTube recommends to you, you're missing a lot of other videos that have come previously. And people are constantly asking me about, well, why didn't you mention this or why didn't you mention that in the video? Well, in a lot of cases, it's because I've covered it in a previous video. And I don't want to spend a lot of time in my videos going back and repeating the same stuff that I've already done a video about. So take some time to go to my channel page. And it's very easy. You know, there's a picture of me next to each video and video title. All you have to do is click on that little circular image of me, and it will take you right to my channel page. And there's 8 different groupings by subject of videos on that front page. And at the top in the menu, it says videos. Click on that one, and it will take you to a page that has all 139 videos listed in either descending order or ascending order, or by popularity, whatever you want to set it up as. And you can just scan through every one of those and look at what I've previously had to say, what I've covered on these other topics.